Hello, everyone. I want to be totally honest today about my addiction. I have a terrible addiction to kratom. Now, it can be great for some people. It should be legal. Okay, I'm not against that, but it's extremely addictive, and I have trouble quitting. To be honest with you, especially since I have to function on a daily basis, and if I decided to stop, then I'm gonna have to go a couple days feeling like garbage, and I can't afford that right now. So I have to work. I have to take care of my kids. So it's a bit of a thing where I'm caught in a cycle where I gotta keep buying it, spending a couple $100 for a couple kilos or whatever. Um, Making sure I have it in my bag, you know, I've done crazy stuff in the past where I had to make sure I had it. If I didn't, oh my God, I left it home. I had to freaking leave my job and just go home and risk getting in trouble for it. Um, it's great. It's great for some people, okay? For some people who were on opioids or whatever, and if it can help them to wean off of it, then that's great. That's wonderful. But me, well, with me, I started taking it when I heard about it on was it a podcast or a YouTube video a long time ago, maybe like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. Um, no, it was probably like 8 years ago, something like that, where they were talking about the government wants to make it illegal. Another thing they want to make illegal, and they went down through the benefits of kratom, anxiety, more focus, and those are things I have always had trouble with. So I was like, oh, it piqued my curiosity. I'm like, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me give it a try. Let me order a small amount, and see how it feels. Because I always wanted help with anxiety, help with focus and being less cold and more open towards people and nice and social, charismatic, whatever. Because sometimes I'm charismatic and then other times I'm just flat broke. So it's totally, I have an addictive personality, okay? But I care about my body, so I never got into hard drugs at all. I never got into drugs because I care about my body. So I'm like, if it's a natural thing, if it's good for my body, and I can get something out of it like that, then that's great. I've always been interested in nootropics. Um, so, anyways, I ordered the kratom. Got a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot because I wasn't sure about it. So I got the cheapest. I don't know, was it $30, $25 or something? Um, in the pill form. Then what do you call it? I took it, and I'm like, I don't really feel anything like that. Actually, I felt kind of bad. I think, as I remember it, I didn't feel like it did anything good for me, and I was like, okay, it's garbage. And then I took it again, and then I felt euphoric. Like I felt so good. Maybe it was a dosage, or maybe my brain was getting used to it. But I felt so euphoric, so wonderful. I was happy. I was talkative. I was social. I felt wonderful. Actually, it was more euphoric than just being focused and social. It was more like I was laying on a bed, like, oh yeah, I love this feeling. I felt like waves of euphoria. Um, that's when I realized, man, I gotta get more of this. I gotta get more of this stuff. So, in one way or another, a little bit on and off, mostly on, I've been ordering this stuff ever since. Ever since. Now, I spent a lot of goddamn money on this. I would like to chew this leaf here. I wonder how that experience would be, you know? I thought about growing the kratom plant. I know it's not called kratom plant, but it's just a short way to say it. You know, nearby, but I live in the States where it probably wouldn't grow that well. So I couldn't do that. You know, I looked into growing it because I'm like, maybe I can actually make money off of it, sell it, and it would kind of justify my habit, you know. But then I realized, like, I don't know, it's good. That's very labor intensive, you know, especially since I don't live in a tropical environment. Um, but when it comes down to it, you know, it's trying to justify. I'm trying to justify my own addiction, and I know that I have a problem, and I need to find the time to just get off of it because it's not really doing me any good anymore. You know, it's not helping me like it was in the beginning. Maybe I took too much. Maybe it's just, I just don't feel like a great person, you know, that I wanted myself to be, that I imagined myself, you know, going to work, being social, and being the. It's kind of weird. I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't, but I've always had that desire for being quote unquote extroverted, but more like on my terms. And it's weird, you know. I don't really like people, but I want to be popular among people, and it's been a strong desire for me. But you know, going to work and talking with everybody and having no fear of being judged, and being, sociable in that way, friendly all the time. Because some days I feel good, and then when I don't feel good, it makes me become more cold. It's just like I'm easily influenced by my emotions, and I guess that has something to do with emotional regulation from what I've read and heard. But it's difficult. It's really difficult if you're starting in that way. If you're in that position that I am, to improve yourself. It's easy to go on YouTube videos and listen to all these gurus who are already masters of what they're doing, or at least of marketing anyway. Maybe they're really not that way, but they know how to market their themselves like that. So it's difficult to go from, and a big thing is actually comparing yourself to other people is difficult not to do, even though it's detrimental to your own mental health, physical health. Definitely detrimental, but it's difficult not to do it. And I want to stay on topic here. I want to talk about kratom. It's very difficult to stop. So if you have an addictive personality and you're thinking about trying kratom, be wary that you might become addicted to it. Then you're going to be looking to buy more of it. Always have a supply of it, even though it's not even helping me anymore. It's just I'm chasing that addiction. It's like, oh, I need it. My brain's telling me I need it. Like when you wake up in the morning, if you're a coffee drinker, and you're like, man, I need my cup of coffee. You're not thinking about, I'm just gonna get dressed and go to work. I need my cup of coffee first. My routine. If I don't have coffee, you're gonna stop at a Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, whatever. you're going to get it one way or another, or maybe even tea. Who knows? Everybody has their thing, right? Not everybody, but a lot of people do. Like, I can't imagine the people who just wake up, drink some water, and that's like their thing, and they go about their day. I've always been addicted to some kind of stimulant, coffee. And then once you drink a lot of coffee, your body gets used to it, you plateau, and it's not doing anything for you. You're drinking a ton of it because you're used to it, but you're not getting anything out of it. Then you're looking for the next best thing to help you. You start looking into nootropics. What are things that could the great good stack for myself that could help me? What 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 is out there that I haven't seen before, that won't harm my body, that will actually help my body, but also help me, and my mental health to improve. And it's like, it's a downward spiral, to be honest with you. It's a downward spiral because you plateau of any of this stuff. You plateau if you take enough of it too much, too often. That's why you need to limit your doses. You need to do it smartly and not like the way I did it. Me, I was like, oh, I love it. I took so much of it that it was like no difference. I was just trying not to get sick. I was just trying not to feel bad, I never knew what it felt like to not be on that quote unquote kratom high. So, well, actually, you get to a point when you don't even feel high anymore. You don't feel anything. You're like, well, okay, this is just my normal mind right now, my normal self. And now you need something else because overdoing kratom is not helping you at all. Overdoing coffee is not helping anymore. So you gotta, at least if you take something like kratom, you have to do it in a way where you're gonna get something out of it in perpetuity, and for as long as you want to do it. Because otherwise it's just a waste of money. You're just throwing it in your system for no reason whatsoever, habitually. And that's my struggle with kratom. I just wanted to put this out there. I don't think it should be illegal. I don't think any drug should be illegal because people are trying to self-medicate themselves. People are trying to feel better, and the more we have all of it on the table, the better it's gonna be for everybody. Where we can get rehabilitation and therapy and quality, even if it's something, a legal drug, it'll be a quality because it's not going to be in the black market, and that's the truth from how I see it, okay? Because the war on drugs has not worked at all, or was it ever intended to, really? And okay, well, kratom, it gets pretty expensive, man. It gets pretty. Imagine the thousands of dollars I didn't spend on that I would have. I love it. I love it because it's hard to imagine myself not using it. I mix it with my coffee. I take a scoop, mix it in there, shake it up. I drink it. And sometimes I'll get like these stomach aches, like recently especially, because I pretty much only take it with my coffee, and now I have a really big container that I put my coffee in. So I'm drinking less of kratom because I have a bigger container and I use just a spoonful. So then I notice, oh my God, I just don't feel good. I feel nauseous. I feel sick. And then I'm like, okay, so I use some kratom capsules. Or I take Dayquil, and I'm like, that doesn't help. Antacid, that doesn't help. I'm thinking maybe my stomach is upset from that, over acidification. And then I take a couple kratom pills, and I'm like, now I feel good. So it was the withdrawals all the time. The withdrawals. So that's not healthy. I gotta admit, that's not healthy. If it's not doing something for you and you're just taking it to not feel bad, I mean, that's not good. That's not good at all. And then there's these things I read and hear about salmonella, uh, uh, found, poisonings from kratom because of the quality differential between different, wherever it came from. So I don't even know how the hell it gets in there. I thought salmonella was from eggs, and I'm sure it comes from other things as well, but I didn't research that. It's just something I gotta quit. It's something I gotta get off of because it's not helping me. So the next time I have some time where I have to work. I don't have to function. I don't have to drive my kids to school or whatever. I gotta take a day or two, even 3 days, and just not do it at all. That, or I am kind of weaned off of it already because only a spoon or two a day. I used to take freaking like 6 spoons like every couple hours, like. So and it's still, you can't get around the withdrawals unless you just quit it. You can cut down, yeah, but you're just gonna prolong the bad experiences. And even when I did quit in the past because I had to, like I was going to military and different things, I was constantly like thinking about it. I'm like, I can't wait to get home to eat some of it, to get some of it. So I remember from the military, I was coming home and I was catching airplanes and stuff, and I was like in my mind thinking, oh, I can't wait to get it. I'm not thinking about, no, I want to hug my kids and well, I was thinking about that too actually, but kratom was really much in my mind. Like, I want to get some of that, see how, feel good about it. I don't know. uh, so I just want to put this out there as a sort of awareness and create a dialogue. And if you feel the same way, if you're interested in kratom, if you feel that way, then please do comment. But this is my experience, from my humble thoughts on kratom and my experiences. So please don't judge my experiences because that's my perspective. This is my perspective without any kind of bias. Kratom feels great, when it does, but when it doesn't, it becomes a habit, and a little bit of an expensive habit too. So I gotta say, the cheapest would probably be in bulk, and it would be in powder form, because the pills themselves are a lot more expensive, of course. Or you could try the leaves. I don't see a lot of people using the cut up leaves. I did that before too, actually. I'm not sure if that's better, but so I'm not against it. It's just I want you to be aware of the risks involved here. So thank you for listening to my video if you have, and maybe I'll make some more videos in the future. Thank you.